The garden harvest waits for no one, but we wait on the harvest. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love summer months and the array of fresh fruits and vegetables. There is nothing quite like walking out into the garden or hitting a local farmer's market at the peak of season to get the freshest, vitamin-packed vegetables and fruit. It certainly isn't like those grocery store hothouse tomatoes with absolutely no flavor. And who knows how long they've been riding in a truck before they actually hit the shelves. Many stores bring in tomatoes that are shipped green. So when you pick up that pretty red tomato, it had to ripen off the vine. It doesn't even taste the same. Hey y'all, I'm Susan at the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. This is Homestead Happenings, episode 43. Grab a cup of something cold to drink and your favorite comfy chair. Let's talk about what's fresh and what to do with all the excess, succession planning and harvesting. And what do you do with 20 pounds of zucchini, squash, or cucumbers? We know that chickens go through the spring egg glut. But did you know that your garden can too? Our friends gave us a huge bag of squash from their garden. Let me tell you, it was the taste of summertime. We enjoyed several meals off that squash, and all for free. Instead of wasting it or feeding it to our birds, we made meals with the bountiful blessing. But here are some ideas for you if you don't want to eat squash all week. Shred, slice, or cube and freeze it. Don't bake a dozen loaves of zucchini bread. You can squeeze the moisture out of shredded zucchini and bag it up in 1 cup portions for winter baking. Sliced is preferred for pan frying and cubes for a quick quiche or casserole meal. Also, squash and zucchini make up a wonderful Parmesan dish and even dressing that is freezable. Now, I love fresh cucumbers, and I make an electrolyte water with sliced cucumbers, a few of our fresh picked berries, a splash of lemon or lime juice, and also fresh mint from our yard. It really is delicious and so refreshing. There's a cucumber salad, and that's really good. And you can add frozen English peas or fresh tomatoes and make it extra good. But you don't want to let it last more than a day because cucumbers contain a lot of water. No cucumber soup for me, please. Refrigerator pickles are easy to make. No time for hot water bath canning season or waiting 14 days to can those pickles. The possibilities are endless. Cucumbers, jalapenos, green beans, and a simple vinegar, salt, sugar brine, done in minutes, and it lasts for weeks. Fermentation is another method that can turn an abundant amount of cabbage or cucumbers into a gut-healthy kraut or sour pickles with almost zero active work. While we are standing in our kitchen with a mountain of vegetables harvested, we can't be overwhelmed by the harvest. After all, corn season only lasts so long. You can't wait to process it all. You just pull up your sleeves, put on that apron, and get busy, right? Tomorrow brings on new harvest and more homestead kitchen work. Our gardens are thriving and our kitchens are humming. The work is real, but the results feed our family throughout the winter months. Right now, my pantry is looking a bit bare, but before long, my pantry shelves will be full. The best part is I know that I'm giving my family the freshest, organically grown foods and preserved at the peak of flavor. Whether I'm cooking fresh meals, canning freezing or dehydrating, my kitchen is the hub of activity. Summer isn't the end of the planting season, it's the middle. Midsummer plants that are quick growing are bush beans, summer squash, and cucumbers. You can often get a second harvest in before the first frost. In the fall, winter months, you can plant kale, spinach, carrots, beets, or potatoes. Whether you are harvesting your first round of crops or waiting on your second round, when you harvest and what you harvest matters just as much as how you grow the stuff in the ground. Hot sun can stress plants and they can lose water. If you pick a head of lettuce at 2 p.m., it will wilt almost instantaneously, but if you pick it early in the morning, it tastes so much better. The Amish always picks early in the morning for the freshest and longest lasting vegetables. Think mornings for leafy greens and crisp vegetables like snap peas and broccoli. They are fully hydrated and crisp from the cool night air. Tomatoes and peppers are okay to pick in the afternoon. It's the warm part of the day, and warmth enhances the flavor. Just don't put them directly into the refrigerator because it ruins the texture. The Amish pick at the peak of the harvest. While many Amish use the Old Farmer's Almanac and moon signs to plant and harvest, they know exactly what is ready and what needs more time. Their children are like little learning sponges because the children get hands-on experience from an early age. Before you think it, no, the children aren't child labor. They are all a part of a big family that believes that even children should learn from an early age. My own paternal grandmother would strap babies on her back and bring all of the offspring into the garden with her. This activity taught children young to appreciate the land and the harvest. Believe me, there weren't too many children turning their nose up to what was on their plates. Why? Because they saw how their parents produced the food from seed, tended the crops, and harvested it. It's something to see an Amish child bring a 5-gallon bucket of squash to the family farmstead and be able to sell it all to us, and even more exciting to see them bite into one of the zucchinis or cucumbers straight from the garden. They know it's good and good to eat. My own grandsons got to experience planting seeds and watching the harvest grow. They learned the value of the food on their plates because they were taught when to harvest it, and their plates were welcomed and it came back to the kitchen empty. Why? Because they helped to raise the food they ate. You can offer children junk food from the stores and they will eat it because that's all they know. Or you can teach them a life skill in the garden and watch them reach for the fresh vegetable or a piece of fruit over the junk foods. It really amazes me how kids that know real gardens produce real foods are healthier and more alert than those that raised on the junk food from the grocery store shelves. While young children may not turn a spade of dirt, they watch how it's done. They can actively plant seeds, water, and watch the plants grow, and they enjoy the harvest of the family's labor together. Today's society wants everything handed to them without the work involved. But when you teach a child to grow food, they have a life skill that will bring them nourishment that lasts all life long. When a child's entire relationship with food comes from a bright plastic package from the grocery store aisles. Food is just a commodity. They perceive food as something that comes from a factory, engineered, and then hit with dopamine receptors completely disconnected from the earth. There's a child's song by the Presidents of the United States of America that came out in the 90s. Moving to the country, I'm going to eat a lot of peaches. Peaches come from a man. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. And if I had my little way, I'd eat peaches every day. Sun-soaked bulges in the shade. It's a perfectly catchy tune, but honestly, that lyric perfectly sums up the modern grocery store mindset that many are raising their children in today. A child eating store-bought junk food doesn't come from the earth, not from a seed or from hard work. It comes from a can put there by a man in a factory downtown. When you bring children into the garden, you shatter that illusion. They learn where real peaches come from, a tree, tomatoes from a vine, and food that is living and not manufactured in a factory downtown. You aren't just feeding them better, you are giving them a life skill and self-reliance, and maybe mom or grandma puts them in glass jars and lines them up on shelves so the family survives and thrives. Galatians 6:9, King James Version says, "And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." While junk food teaches children instant gratification, a garden teaches our children the biblical principle of due season. They learn that we reap what we sow, and we only reap if we don't faint or give up. That's a life skill that will sustain our children long after we are gone. The Hillbilly Chicken Ranch schedule is Monday and Friday long-form videos, Wednesday podcast, and they all drop at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. We also do a live the third Monday at 11 a.m. There's extras in short videos and the community tab post. Please check back on Friday for another episode of The Resourceful Homestead. What will I be doing next? For those that are new to our channel, we are a 1.5 acre homestead located in West Tennessee. Our gardening zone is 7B. We are trying our best to produce most of our food on the homestead, but we do support our Amish neighbors and purchase organic meats from a local cattle company. Life can sometimes be hard, and other days it rains and you don't have to water the garden. Gardening can be physical exercise, no need for a gym membership, relaxing, because as you pull weeds, you are alone with nature. It calms the mind and spirit. It teaches patience as we wait for that first harvest or tomato. It gives you a sense of pride because you grew it, and it feeds your family good, nourishing, simple foods. Gardening may be a hobby, but around here it means that we eat well in the winter months without having to go shopping at the grocery stores, and it saves us money and time. As we are in the heat of things and canning season is just about to start again, my pantry shelves are waiting to be filled with this year's harvest. We have a canning kitchen that needs to be set up, and you're going to see towards the end of this the propane stovetop that we're going to get installed pretty soon. We also need to put in a sink into our building. So those are things that need to be done pretty quickly because canning season is really here. So get those jars clean and ready. Check your canners out and your equipment to make sure that you don't need to replace those seals or other little parts and get your mind clear and your schedule to can something this year. I'd like you to stick around until the very end to see some of the things that are going on our little homestead. I will have some music playing in the background for you for your entertainment. And just know that if you get out and you do a little bit of gardening, whether you live in an apartment complex and you garden on your windowsill, in your kitchen or living room or living space, or you have a place outside that you can actually get your hands in the dirt, it will make you glad you did. Until next time, be blessed and a blessing. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.